All right. Hello, 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 guys. Be beginning very, very shortly here. So, let me just. Oh, I'm using the wrong keyboard. Uh oh. Yeah, I need a little bit more time here. So we'll just say that. So give me like 1 more minute here, and I guess we can. Then we'll go over our plans for today, and we'll begin. All right. All right. Let's begin. Hello, everyone. So, today's plans. We, as I've stated in the title here, are going to do 2 songs today. Well, we're going to work on our existing song. That's 1. And we're going to start a new project. That's 2. We're going to start a house project, or something that you might be able to classify as house. That's kind of what I'm feeling today. But I also want to do some work on finishing up this trap project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up as much as I can here in stream today for about the first hour of today. And then for the second half, we'll do our house project. And any more work that I do on this trap beat project, I will be doing off camera. And then I will show you guys. I probably need to look at the camera more. I will show you guys any work that I have done as soon as it's done. So I'll show you on another stream all the finished work that I will do off camera. But for the next few streams here, we'll be doing something new just to make sure, just to mix it up a little bit. All right. So, we were, last time on this project, we were trying to come up with a bass line for our drop 2 switch up. And we had come up with the syncopated rhythm for our drums, for our kick specifically, and we were trying to come up with a bass line to make it, to work with it. And I was struggling to do so. So I might end up, okay, one sec, my headset is not connected precisely. Sec. It's finicky with its. I'm only getting it through the right ear right now. That's a problem. Also, that's not a loop. This is. We may have a problem here. I'm only getting this out of the right ear. Is it panned all the way to the right? No, it's just my headset. Darn it. Alright, I'm gonna stop this for now. One second, guys. I don't know why my headset's deciding to all of a sudden only work for the right ear. I hope that the stream is, I think the stream is fine, like. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the Elgato for now, just so that, oh, it is off, okay, fine. Oh, God. Oh, that's annoying. Ooh. It's, man, that is super frustrating. Let me try the other headset slot. Oh, it's the cable. Darn. Okay, we might have to do a switch out of our headset today. That's gonna suck. Man. Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry about the hitch here. I was not expecting my headset to all of a sudden be like this. Man. I'm wondering if it's just the cable. Man, that sucks. Okay. It sucks because these are the nice ones I use for reference for mixing, but I guess I'm gonna have to go with a backup pair. All right. Okay, I'll have to test that headset later. Okay, sorry about that. Let's keep going here. So, I was trying to come up with a bass line that worked with this kick pattern. Let me turn on so now you can hear. So it was like this syncopated thing, but it's also swung. I'll turn on the metronome here. And I'd come up with this. Let me find it. There it is. This is it? No, it's this. Now, I'm going to redo this because I think that's way too crazy, and, yeah, no. I might even just do variations of the first three we had, just to keep, you know, just to keep it consistent. Not that. Those are the build-ups. I mean, it was originally, I had originally... So what if I did something like this then? So take the first bit here. Okay, I got an idea. So let's just use bits of the. Okay, I'm gonna scroll first to make it faster. Yeah, little workflow thing in Ableton. You gotta make sure that you position your if you're dragging stuff over from session view, you gotta position your you gotta position your window where you want to paste it in arrangement view. So let's see. Here it is. I'd like to put in the sampled kit here, and I'd also like to put in the Okay, so again I have to scroll up to here and then put it in. So let's So what does the bass line sound like here? Is it the same as drop one right now? It is. So, no, it's not. It's actually that's the same. Let's actually switch this like middle part here a bit. So that could be different. What about this little fragment here? The timing is going to be off, isn't it? Okay, let's go back to this here then. I'm going to have to merge these two back together. And then copy it over. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't really blend the best. Let's kind of, oh, because it's a consolidated clip, I can't move it over. Let's grab the latter half of that then. I just want this, like, this little bit right here. But I don't want the whole thing. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, I want it there. But I still want some of this. So I'm going to take that back here. That there. We'll get rid of this. And then how much do we have left? About 3 bars worth? Okay. How much is that exactly? I want, alright, that much. I believe. I can remember how much that was. Was it that much? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm just going to drag it. Okay, I got an idea. I'll just drag it to the end, drag it in, and then we'll reach it back like so. I have room to do that as well. I could probably add a fade at the end of this because I can see that there's a little bit there that, or we could just cut it out. Yeah, we can just do that. All right, let's hear this much. See how that worked out. That's not too bad. Now, is that the same? I think it is. It is. So let's switch that up somehow. Now I might do it to. Okay, maybe I'll do it in a different way. See, here's. Okay, so I'm gonna try something else with particularly the clips that are already there, because I want to keep a similar theme, right? So let's start here, and then these. Let's try that. And then let's double it up, maybe? Okay. So we'll use warping to do this. Let's do... Okay, so we're over here. We have these two little buttons here. We have... That's divide the time in half, so stretch it. Basically, double the amount of time, double the length of the loop. And basically, it's just dividing this segment BPM. That's what that stands for. It's dividing that by 2 or multiplying that by 2, and we can set that to whatever we want. But I'm going to set it to be 70 so that it doubles it up, and then I can basically take 2 copies. And now it might not sound great, but there you go. I mean, what I'm gonna do it differently though, because we do have that pitch curve. So I'm gonna just take 2 of the first and then 2 of the second. So I'm gonna have to split these up like so, and then duplicate this one, stretch it out, split it, and so on and so forth. Just so I get 2 of every pitch in ascending order. Alright, I think that's good. Yeah, we need one more. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we just need one more pitch here. There we go. And the warp sounded okay. I don't really necessarily need to change the warp mode or anything. Perhaps I could maybe, okay, well, now there is an opportunity here, because, I mean, it's not like you're really going to hear this in the overall scheme of things, but while we're here, while we're at this level of detail, we might as well mess with the fact that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 individual clips here, and each one of those has its own set of controls. So if I wanted to, I could come in here and change the warp mode on each. I could do texture for the first one, and then let's see. You can hear that it drastically changes how it warps it. And we could choose texture for this one, and maybe change the grain size and the flux around, and that is preserved. So then you get something like this. A drastically different sound. I'm actually like the difference between Complex and Complex Pro, since they're very similar. They're slightly different. And then there you go. You just get like a little bit of variation in sound in each just by changing these around. And then for the last one, I'll do tones. And then this last one here, what I'm going to do is divide that one so that it's twice the length, or multiply, I guess you could say. And now it's going to be extremely stretched out. Let's go ahead and cut away the beginning. I just want to get the noisy part. Yeah, over here. So it's going to be like super stretched out and it's going to sound super weird, but we can change the warp mode and we get a drastically different sound. I'm just want to experiment with this with you guys. Okay, so there's the next note. Don't want to get to that. But we can stretch all the way back to there. But you can hear now. It's like really, really... Like if we just loop this part. Like that's really cool. I mean, it might sound really ugly to you, but I mean, it's just like you get this variation in sound just by kind of messing with the sample. You don't have to go in and tweak a synth. You can just mess with how the sample is played back. Texture, let's try that. That's kind of cool. Let's mess with the grain size. No, I want a smaller grain size, more flux though. That's kind of cool. Let's try that. Also, let's add a fade just because it's kind of loud all over the place. Insert. Okay, I'm going to have to select just the portion I want to make a fade on. So let's do it here. Create, not crossfade. We want to create a fade in. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to cut it off from the previous clip, eh? Yeah, there we go. Create a fade in, bring it back. Awesome. Alright, cool. That helps to clean it up a little bit. Let's hear that now. Yeah, it's like, you can't really even hear it. Let's remove this sidechain because there's not a kick there. This one as well. Cool, right? And I'm gonna just do this doubling somewhere else too. Let's see. Let's see. Like this much. And let's just bring it back 3 times. Maybe not override this note here. That might be kind of cool. And maybe if we change the playback speed of this one so that we make it twice the length or half the length. I don't know what you would say. Yeah, half the length, but twice the playback speed. Then we get something like this. So you get this rapid. Now that's kind of cool. Now if I adjust the timing of it, just so that it kind of falls, or the notes fall at the right time. I'm going to have to put it with the beat to tell if it's going to work. So let's go ahead and ensure that we do that. Let's put it with main. Back to our bass here. And we're going to have to adjust, we might have to adjust the sub. So yeah. I think they're going to have to be sooner. Like that, maybe. Adjust them out a little bit. I might want to adjust these forward a little bit too then. And never mind. I don't want the beginning of that next note. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay. How about that with everything else? Let's just hear that in context. Where was the drums so I can unsolo them? Hello. Hi, we have a viewer. Hi. How are you doing? We are working on our Ableton project again. We're making a drop, or at least we're working on getting the drop to its final state. I guess I could go ahead and show what I'm working from. So yeah, it's like a trap beat. I don't know if you've been here for previous streams or not, but we're just continuing what we have been doing for the past, I don't know, like week and a half. And we've been working on this trap beat and been doing all sorts of kind of neat tricks and mixing stuff and whatnot. Yeah, and we've just been having fun generally. And today we're actually gonna start a new project. So you're here for that. Hopefully you learn something. I don't know. I'll just produce. I'm not good at the whole talking thing. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to create like a variation of, so I have drop 1, which has the same sort of rhythms or bass sounds as drop 2, but what I'm doing is like I'm doubling up the samples in places. I'm using the warp modes to kind of double the BPM of things. And I'll just play the first drop so you have some context, and I'm just kind of mixing that up. So and then we're still working on this part. We're still working this out. I want to do some sort of like switch up of the beat here, but I'm not quite satisfied with what I've got going on. So we're kind of working our way there by just improving the previous part, and then instead of, well, we had something that we came up with yesterday. It was like this super aggressive, just and by the way we're coming up with these is I have like this kit full of samples of a synthesizer. So I designed like a synth patch, and then I sampled it with the Ableton's resampling, and then I come up with some sort of track like this, which has all sorts of bass sounds on it, and then I slice that up into a drum rack, which each has little individual sections of it. I play out a rhythm on the keyboard, or the push in my case, and then I resample that again, and then that way I can apply transposition to the whole thing, and then I get, you know, a nice little bass line out of that without changing too many parameters. I can just take like the parts of the bass which would sound the best, and I could just kind of experiment around with patches. It saves a little time, and I've spent a couple days in the past on like the technique, doing that technique like quite a few times. I've done, like you can see here, that I have 3 different these tracks here with the serum patches in this case on there. But anyway, let's keep working on this here. So what I've been doing is I'm just doing like another layer of manipulation here, where I've been just taking the bass samples and going over here to the sample engine, the sample manipulator in Ableton, and just using the warp feature, just using Ableton's warp to, this isn't a good clip for that, but you can see this one, it's 70 BPM. By default, they're all 140 because the track's in 140, but I've doubled it in places and halved the BPM in places so that I get double time, as opposed to something like this. So in drop 1, that sounded like this, and then here I've changed it to be and you'll notice that each one was slightly different sounding. That's because and I just went over this, but I guess I'll talk about it again. Each one of these clips has its own, set of options here. It's sample with the warp engine and all of this stuff. I could even reverse the sample here if I wanted to, which I might even try. Nah. But you could do that with each individual one. So what I've done is I've changed the it's like different ways that you could warp. I guess warp meaning change the tempos, or different algorithms that it uses, and I've chosen a slightly different algorithm, different settings for each one, so you get different versions of transposition, and you get different timbres that way. And I did it here too. And since it's fading out here, well, I don't want it to fade out actually, because we're going to have this drop go on for 32 bars, so I'm going to undo all that automation where I have filter fades, because this is a carbon copy of drop 1 at the start of this, and I am just changing it to be 32 bars instead. This can come up even though there's nothing on it. Okay, these are the particular things I wanted to get rid of. The filter cutoffs there. Okay, that particular phrase I'd like to change somehow. Maybe we'll have the last bit silent, and then this can get removed. This much. Okay, and then we go back over to. So I had prepared some sample drops before I've basically taken I've arranged stuff in session view here, several different options. We have drop part 1, alternate 2, and I've laid them out in arrangement view so that I can come over here, take clips and take bits and pieces of prior drops, and then piece them together over here and make something different. So I'm going to choose a different bass pattern than this, because we're using that there. No need to reuse it. That's... Where is that being used? That's being used drop B. So I'm going to choose a different ending, one of these or one of these. Have that. I also have these. Okay, I'm going to use that for the end because I particularly use that when I come into the first drop. Right? I probably should even clean that up a little bit. It's fine. I'll use that here. I'll use the same sub pattern. Okay. Use something completely different here. Okay. How about this? Why not? I'll use this part. Okay, cool. That works. Do I have a sub to match? Yes, I do. Oops, okay, I'm option dragging it to copy, by the way. Alright, I just wanted to get this bit here. So that I can match this. Let's also make sure you can hear it. Right, we got a subtrack that's stacked with our resampled bass. So I'm curious how this sounds right now as of, if I move this, ooh. I'm just going to copy this over, option. Gotta make sure this is on, and that the group is soloed so that the sidechain is working. Why is the sidechain not working? Oh, yeah, I have this on the wrong. Okay, I have two sidechain channels. I need to break them to both. So, here's the current issue with this beat. Too many kick drums, and I have the kick drum being used to sidechain all of the rest of the mix. And we're just getting way too much sidechain all the time. So, that's a problem. I could do some things to tune that down, however. Or I could just try a different beat. Try with everything real quick. I'd like to just kind of put in more parts of the mix too, just to see if it'll work. But I like to just see if things work with the drums and bass first before I start adding more things, just in case, you know, I decide like halfway through like, this doesn't work. I need to switch it up entirely. Just uproot it and start over. I'm trying to avoid doing that. Okay, let's look at what I was talking about with this sidechain and it being too aggressive. So I'm using FabFilter Pro C here to do the sidechain. I've got a sidechain source up here, which is simply a noise impulse. So it's being generated by analog in this case. I'm just using a noise oscillator with a quick decay. So it doesn't matter the length of the note. We get the same sound every time. And then we can use that as our sidechain source rather than the kick, which has a longer tail and results in a less clean looking sidechain cut, right? And less clean sounding too. And this plugin, by the way, I found to have pretty darn clean sidechain curves. And you've got different modes of it as well. I'm using this, particularly the punch mode, but there's other ways you can do it, which result in different curves, of course. Now the problem is, if I tune this back, it's going to tune it back for the first drop as well, which I have it kind of tuned for in the first place. So I'd have to. I have two options. I have a couple options here. I could automate the fab filters so that its threshold increases for this point, or its release decreases. I could change the parameters so that the curve is less harsh. That could try. That could work. That could work. So yeah, here we have it. We can see what we literally just changed. FF Pro C to release, and then all of the things we can automate. So what I'm going to do is change the parameters so that, or first we're going to lock in the parameters that we have, right? So threshold, we want to lock that in at 47. Ratio, we have it pretty high. I don't think we need to change that at all. We might kind of like bring that back though. Yeah, I think really the only thing we necessarily need to change is the threshold, but the release maybe. I mean, the kick does have a decay. Let's look at the kick drum sample, shall we? So I'm trying to just kind of shape the curve just so that we have enough room for this little kick sample to come through. I might try shortening it a bit. Let's make sure this section is looping. Yeah, I'm not too sure about having this many kicks in the first place. Okay, we're gonna switch the beat up. We're gonna try something else. Maybe I'll try doing a half. I'll try doing a syncopated rhythm. I could do quarter notes. That is a common way of switching it up, where you just kind of go into like a house, or not. I guess you can really call it a house. Just straight, just 4 on the floor kick pattern. We could try that. You know what? We will try it. Why not? Let's just say why not. Or we could do like a kick pattern, and then the 4th one is delayed a little bit. That's another way. But we're just going to go back to the drawing board on this. Of course, we got to change the sidechain pattern as well. Let's try that. So I'm just going to duplicate that a couple times. That might be cool. Sidechain's not there right now, so it sounds kind of bad, but that's fine. We'll deal with that right now. Yeah, we're definitely going to change up the bass pattern here. In fact, can we just take... We might even try something like really kind of simplified. Like we'll take just a repeating pattern like this and just repeat it. Like we'll just find a particularly good sound and just repeat it, because the interesting part there is not really, I guess I could say it's not really the bass sound at that point. Would be just the switched up rhythm. So maybe we'll just let that be the interesting thing, and then the bass could just be like one of these samples just repeated. It could be, of course, a different sample every note, because it's going C, D, E, C. It's just going through a little progression, and then maybe for every different note, or every different note, it could be a different sample. So let's find some particularly good ones in this loop. Maybe one of these. Let's try, actually, let's do 2. Let's do 2 of them. Let's do this much. Dum 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 dum. Bum 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 bum. And let's double this up too. Let's warp it so that it's... Ooh, that might be cool. It's like a triplet now. You know what? Hey, we've discovered something. That's kind of yeah. So something like this, like that's just repeating over and over. The only thing now we're gonna have to deal with is the clip transposition. So, yeah. See, it's all gonna be at this beginning phase. So what I'm gonna have to do. Oh. Well, we could consolidate it, but what we're going to do first is we're going to warp each one differently, because I want to have, similar to how we did it back here. I want to mess around with the warp modes of these so that we get a slightly different sound every time. Let's try it. Also, I'm just gonna undo all the transposition automation. Gonna get rid of all of that on all these clips so that we can just redo this curve on the entirety, like once we consolidate it back. So let's do that. Let's do that. Real quick here. Just get rid of all this. The whole thing gone. Whole thing gone. You could just do Apple A. Yeah, that's also an option. Yeah, okay, we'll just do that. We could select, just go down here, click down here, select all. Oops. Yeah, select all of that, delete. Make sure that that's the case everywhere. This is going to mess up the notes, but they were messed up anyway, so it's fine. Okay. So now I've got that. And let's mess with these a bit now. So right now they're all set to complex. Let's set the first one to tones. Very small difference. Oh, very, very tiny difference. How about can we... Well, let's just do all of them. Texture. And we'll loop it. Or we could just do one and loop that one. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Because we're going to do each one differently. We might as well set it up. So we can make this loop now. And we can adjust it around so that we can get it just right. Let's try a different algorithm. Tones, maybe? Beats. Oh, actually, let's try this. Preserve 32nd, and for this one, preserve 16th. Oh. Let's try them both together. And no. Okay, we're going to try preserving transient instead. Transients. Ah! So we can change the length here. Oh! Nice. See? See how many different kind of variations of this you can get by just changing a couple sliders? Like, alright, let's try that. Let's try it with this one. Let's maybe make this one a little bit more smeared out. So we'll try texture. And then maybe this one can be longer. So we'll try beats and preserve maybe 67. Or we'll use this mode. Might be hard to see what I'm doing here, so I'll try to zoom in as I do it. So I'm gonna preserve transients. We can change the length of that transient here and the way that we play it back. I'm gonna use that mode because that seems to make the biggest difference when I change the slider. I'm gonna do 75 here, and then this one's gonna be complex. Oh, repitch. Whoa. Whoa. No. We'll do complex pro instead. Oh. See, now it's kind of like robotic almost. Am I changing the right one? Doesn't seem to make much of a difference, no matter what option we choose here. Well, that one sounds cool. Alright, how about, Alright, nice. This one really throws me off. And then let's maybe sort them by length. So this one's really short. I wish there was an easy way to like hot swap things. I'm going to have to move this into an empty area. I really want that one to be last and that one to be there. Okay, well then I'll do this. Alright, now let's do our consolidation. So, consolidate. And now, let's try that again. All these clips should merge. We have to select them all this way though. And consolidate. There we go. And now you can see how different... Oh, I went somewhere entirely different. Sorry about that. Sure that... Yeah, we're good here. Okay. Yeah. So you can see how radically different the waveforms look. Like this is all the same sample to begin with. Just doubled it in time, and then we get some of them that are like down here, and then all weird sorts of things. And now what we can do is you can see here we've got these arrow markers that tell you where the transients are. We can use the groove to commit it to the swing that we have going on, and you can see these move, all these transients move appropriately so that they're swung. Nice. And I'm just going to do my pitch curve that I have on everything else. So I just have to go to another clip, transposition, and then just copy this motion here. And then move it onto here. We're going to move it forward a bit. There we go. See? Easy. Well, sort of. And we're going to do something similar with one of these. This one seems like a good candidate. These notes, they're already quick. We could try slowing them down instead. The other ones we sped up, we'll try slowing these down, because the differences between the algorithms and the warp modes really come out when you try to slow stuff down as opposed to speed it up. Speeding it up is less dramatic than slowing stuff down. So let's just rip this whole part out. I'm just gonna mess with this clip right here, and we can even extend it out maybe. Yeah, we're just gonna make this repeat, and then we can use that to go back in. And then how are we going to get our variation? Well, we can change around our warp mode. So what I'm going to do is just delete every other one, make these halftime, or get the other way around. Let's do this. So I'll make these halftime. These two are going to warp. Okay, I can't select both at once. All right, so come down here to our BVM, multiply by 2, drag the clip out, and there we go. And then we'll drag this one out as well. Actually, I'm going to remove this entirely, and we'll drag this one out. 1 by 2. Okay, awesome. And I'm just going to take the last one again, repeat it, and then repeat this. There we go, we have a nice little rhythm. What is it? But I have a feeling it's going to be very much off the grid. Let's try it with the beat, because I can't really tell how that's going to sound. Yeah, we totally got to move these. Let's see. So what's our kick doing here? Boom, 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 boom. Wow. Okay, got an idea. We're gonna delay this one so that it lines up with our kick. Bring this forward. See. That's cool. Maybe. You don't even have the next measure in, so that's why it's throwing me off. That's cool. So let's hear that again. Let's extend this out. Let's actually make this like 70 BPM? Oh no, twice the BPM. And we'll get the last bit of it. There we go. It's just a longer reversed section there. That's cool. Okay. Let's deal with this little bit of silence. We'll repeat this bit here, and then we'll do crossfades. I can't create another crossfade right next to him, can I? I can do one here though. Ooh. I don't know if that sounds good. It's honestly just like a... Just a fade out would have done just fine. But maybe a little fade in here too. Oh, darn, I lost my place. Also, what time is it? It's almost 12:30. Yeah, in a couple of minutes here, we're going to start a new project, as I had said. Just wanted to finish up a little bit on this, or just work on our switch up a little bit. And the rest of this project will be done off camera. And then later on in the following week, we're probably going to show. Or not probably. I'm going to. I'm gonna promise it to myself and say that in this coming next week, you'll see the finished product, and I'll do like a tour day project, and we'll just look at all the things we've done, just kind of quickly go through things, you know. Or that's down the line, so we're still, you know, taking this piece by piece. But we've been doing this long enough so that I'm going to just go ahead and switch it up for the archive's sake, you know, because some people will come and watch these streams after they're live, because all of these get published to the channel after they're done. So just to switch things up a little bit, I'm going to start anew. But let's just play through what we have so far, and yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Still got another half of that to do, but so that's coming from this. second half still needs that as well. I might work in snares or something like that, but yeah. That's for later on. We're going to move on now, and I'm going to set up a new project here. So save, always remember to save. Just in case things crash, because things have crashed for me before. And I am also going to go refill this. So I will be right back, and we will be back with a new project. So the coffee part is a lie. I've already finished my coffee. Just water. Okay. See you in just 1 minute. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. And we're going to start up a new project here. So, second, Ableton. Hello. Can I get a response? Can I get a menu? Interesting. Okay, I may have to start here. Why? Okay, I did save the project. Yes. Yeah, give me a little bit here to work this out. I don't know why I can't pull up my pop-up menu. That's fine. It's fine. We'll just restart. It will put us in a new template anyways. Give it some time to start here. Also, okay, my mouse is plug-in thing is still there. Awesome. Ooh. So, we're thinking house. Well, where would we start? Well, we could start with our beat. We could start with the beat, the house beat. You know, the 4 on the floor kick, the hi-hat on the off beats, the appropriate sounds. We could play out a and with house, I guess we don't really need to worry about. Well, it depends. Depends where we're going. I mean, with the chords and the sounds that you use in house. I mean, chords aren't all that important. They help sometimes, but the beat is what really defines the genre here. And I mean, the kind of the characteristics of the sounds too. But let's just start looking for stuff, shall we? Let's just start pulling up some sounds. We want drums. We want a nice house kit to start with, and I have a particular library, hard house. Let's see if we can find some good stuff in here. I know this is gonna be like super hard. House. Yeah. Okay, never mind. That's like too hard. Too hard. I want something more kind of chilled. So let's see. Tech house might be a good one. Yeah, we have some good stuff in here. I like this one. Got a nice little crunch. Turn on here so I can actually play the kit. Oops. Sorry about that. So we want to go about that speed, right? We want to go about 125 to 128. Let's go 126. Let's use our sequencer to put this together. Okay, that's gonna be our kick pattern. So you can see that the I don't know how well it renders out on the camera, but let me switch to. So I don't know how well it renders out. Let me see if I can get an angle here where I can just leave it. 1 second. Is that gonna work? Maybe I can shift that over, and then that will be centered. Oh man, I can't bend the camera up anymore. And there's a. All right. Well. You get the idea. I'm using a sequencer. I would have liked to have shown that in more detail, but I need to get my camera stand out. Next stream we'll do a lot. Oh my, I am way up here now. That's better. So yeah, we have a kick drum. Great. That's a good starting point. We have a nice kick drum. Let's find some other sounds. There's your nice classic sort of house hi-hat. There's two really good ones here. Two really I'm sure if you've heard house music, if you're a fan of house music, I'm sure you recognize these hi-hats. I'll grab them. Actually, I kind of like this one more. About the tail. I'm going to do something to these samples just so that they're a little bit original. Just shorten them. Take their envelopes back. We want a snare as well. Or actually a clap. Let's choose a clap from a different kit though. I like this snare. So yeah, you can, I mean, if you're looking through, if you have a sample library, you can always just take a segment of a loop, stopping you there. I'm going to make these gel a little bit better, so this one needs to come down to be tuned up a bit. Something like that. Okay, since this is only an 8-bar loop, we're going to need to make a little bit... we'll just record something. Let's go. 2, 4. We only have that much time. Let's make more time for ourselves by going into our clip, duplicating the loop, getting rid of the hi-hats we have. Well, do we need to? We need to quantize it, definitely. And then we need to swing it, because house is better swung. There is, you can do it straight, but any good house track has a little bit of swing to it. Or a lot of swing. Let's see. Oh, didn't want to do that. Just going to pop up a window. Alright, so to do that, we have a little display down here on the left. We can always quantize with swing from our push. That's an option I could do. But I'm going to use the groove feature in Ableton. So if you go down here to your clip, this is a comes standard with any MIDI clip. You can apply a groove to any or all of the tracks in your project, and it can be shared from the same groove library here. So if I pull this up, you can see drop clips or grooves here. So you could also, this is flexible in that you could make your own swing. You can make your own groove, play something in, and then have other tracks, audio tracks, MIDI tracks in your project follow that groove. I'm going to choose a pre-made one. So let's swap. You can see Core Library has quite a bit of pre-made swing rhythms. So these are 8th note swings. This one has like accents built in. Let's use this one. MPC swing 66. And then we commit. You can see, particularly these ones that are on the 16th notes, they move forward a little bit. So now it's a nice swung hi-hat groove. Cool. Make sure that we're using the same notes. Commit the groove again because we messed up. Oh, actually, quantize it back to 16th and then commit because I think it swung it even more. Let's do full-on 16th notes like this. And let's make the swing. Go. Let's make it kind of ramp up in velocity. So I'm going to zoom in here, pull this up, hold down B to open up draw mode, and then just draw in a nice curve. I'm going to have to zoom in some more so that I can get individual notes too, or just, I'll just do it by hand. It's not behaving how I want it to behave here. Alright, and this will result in a little bit of a ramp up. Okay, awesome. Let's just skip to it. Remove this last note. Remove this note. That's kind of cool. There we go. Alright, how about more drum sounds? More! Actually, we'll stick with just the beat for now. Let's think of some kind of chord progression or melody or something, or some kind of sound that will drive this whole project. Like, need something, right? Shame. That one guy. And maybe it's your account kind of glitches out. But, oh well. He missed the best part. The beginnings are always the best parts. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Okay, let's look for a contact sample that might be nice. Well, what do you hear usually in house tracks? You hear piano, right? So we're going to start with a nice piano sample. Let's make sure we do it. Yep, we're doing it in melody. Let's do it in the chord group. We'll go over here to our harmony and chords. We have grand piano and strings. I'd actually like to move contact over. I'm going to make a duplicate of it. Move it over to the harmony group so that we can pick from one of our piano libraries. We'll do una corda. Felt pure. To pure. And then we're going to do a sort of cheaty way of getting in the chords because, well, house tracks often use a technique where they'll use one quality of chord and just move the note around. And just move that chord around, but it'll still be the same chord, right? It'll always be like it could be like a minor 7, a major 7, whatnot. I could change it as well, but we're going to try doing this with the chord plugin at first. It's kind of a cool sounding. That's a good chord for that. That's a minor 7. I don't know if I want that key though. So let's use the chord plugin here. So our bass note's going to be an F sharp. Let's change the parameters of una corda as well, so maybe we can. Less bass. Man, there's like a lot of string noise. There we go, releases. You can turn that down. Overtones. You want that on. Resonance. Settling. We don't need to worry about that because we're using a push. Yeah, this is a really nice piano sound. Oh, equalizer. No wonder it wasn't doing anything. Space. Wish I could change the color of the space. Wow, there's so many options. Oh. Give me more of that. Is this like a convolution reverb? That's so cool. It's got that built in. That's really nice. Okay, now let's build a chord. So basically what this is you have your bass, your starting note, and then several shifts from that in semitones. So it's playing, right now it's playing the, this is a G flat right now. It's playing F sharp, G flat, and 3 semitones up from that. That's an A, and then we want a C sharp. So that's 7 semitones up, and then we want our 7th, which is going to be 9, I believe. There's 10 actually. Now I start to get the sort of housey feel where although we don't limit that much space. Maybe we'll turn it off. It's a shame. Shorter version of it. So maybe not Mystique. Reverse. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. That's really cool. Now, funny thing is, I actually have my own plugin for this. If I can find it. Packages, types. This is the finished version. I did a couple more changes to it. Hopefully I move those over. Oh wait. Alright, I'll find it later. But I have my own chord plugin. Let's go to Max for Live. Max MIDI effect. Do I have my effect in here? It's not listed. Anyway, next stream, I'll show you guys that. I'll show you guys my chord plugin. How I could use it for this. Let's change our scale. Let's do E flat maybe. want to maybe slam it, meaning like slam it compression-wise. I mean, we're already doing that somewhat in Contact, but I want to put it through an OTT. Not all the way, though. Actually, it kind of sounds pretty sweet. Although it's compressing everything. Testing different scales here. I've got like a way of doing it here. So you got like a menu of different scales, which will be represented by the pads. And I'm just kind of scrolling through. So right now that was just a minor scale. We're in the key of E flat. Maybe I'll change that to key of G. Change the reverb around a bit. Maybe use this as like, this is the intro. Phrygian instead, so I can do. Just coming up with a little progression here. Let's do something like that. Let's go to the 3. 1, 2. Monetize. And swing it with the same groove. Now I can mess with the settings a bit more. You change the chord to. liking that. I'm liking that. Okay, now let's come up with some sort of synth that can support that. Maybe some sort of piano-like pad that has some sort of attack that's similar to the piano, and we can layer it. I'm thinking I'm going to use Massive for that. I'm going to go old school, use Massive. Let's get the same chords going on this. Actually, what I'm going to do is we're going to create a new MIDI track, and we're going to say MIDI from 22 contact, and we're going to say record. And then what this is going to do is going to take the results of this chord plugin, and it's going to print it out onto this MIDI track. And then what we can do is bring that back in, put it on our contact track, and then we won't have to have this chord. And we can take that clip and move it to other things as well without having to put another chord plugin on. So let's do that. So ready, record, and you can see putting the chords on. Yay! Perfect. Now we can just go here, chord. We get rid of that, and we have the opportunity now to invert some of the chords. Cool, see? Exact same thing. Now we can move it over to Massive. We can work with the same notes. So, okay, so I'm going to set it up so that it's as simple as possible. All of these are going to go just to filter 1. Go equally to filter 1 and filter 2. If I go through filter, okay, yeah. So basically, I'm gonna set it up so that we have a stack of wave, or we have each. Yeah. Let me start from the beginning here. We did some days talking about synthesis and talking briefly about the interface of Massive, but I've been mostly for these streams using Serum, so I kind of want to go through this a little bit. We've got 3 oscillators here on the left. We've got our sound sources here. So oscillator 1, you can see everything's kind of arranged into these boxes, and then each of these boxes has their own purpose. And there's some routing that's behind the scenes that we'll explain here in a minute. And it's in this routing tab. Actually, you can see a diagram of it. We have our oscillators, oscillator 1, square saw, and then you have your wavetable display. These are all actually wavetables, but it doesn't show you a visual representation of it like it does in Serum. But they are wavetables, and they each have their own characteristic sound to them. And if you select one, you can morph through it with wavetable position here. And then you have, on the right, you have your wavetable modulation. So in this case, it's spectrum, so more or less of the spectrum of the wavetable you can control with intensity. You have bend plus, bend minus, slash plus, and bend minus. Those will take the wave shapes and sort of like compress them to the left or to the right. It's kind of complex to explain, but it morphs the shape of the waveform so that it gets a different timbre. And then formant will make your I guess the only real way to explain it is just to play around with it. Like, it makes it's similar to FM in frequency modulation Serum, where it can multiply like the octave of your sound, and it can make it like really scream, I guess you could say. Let's go all the way down to formant. Well, I mean, we already have a signed formant wavetable. Let's use a basic square wave. And then if we go, that's what formant does. But if I do spectrum, it's like a filter. I think I'm actually going to use this. I'm going to use a stack of oscillators. We're going to go slightly different pitch so that we get some chorusing. We're going to turn up the amplitude of all these, so we get some phasing going on because they're slightly different pitches. And also we're going to do that here. We can do in the voicing tab, we're going to turn up the unisono, and then we have over here the unisono spread. What that will do is it's like increasing the number of voices you have. So essentially what this is there's 3 oscillators per voice, and they're combining together and they're creating this sound. So that right now you're hearing a single voice. Now you're hearing 3 voices. There's 3 notes. We can also introduce multiple voices to the same note by using this unisono feature. And if we turn it up, nothing at first. Well, now you can see something's happening. It's clipping because now we have 5 voices on one note. But now if we use unisono spread, we can introduce a little bit of pitch variation, what I've done here, to the whole sound. And we can adjust to the degree at which it can go. And this gives you that kind of unison effect. It makes your sound a little nicer. And what I'm going to do is modulate the intensity of all the sounds using an envelope. We're going to use envelope 3 because envelope 4 controls the volume by default. So we'll get to what this does in a might on this patch, might not. I'm going to use envelope 3 to control all of the intensities of all of the waveforms. So we don't want to do it very much. We just want to have a nice little attack at the beginning. So let's use this decay. Kind of make it a nice rapid decay. Bring it down to here. Release doesn't matter. We're going to bring the level all the way down. And now if we introduce this on all of the waveforms, you might be able to hear a nice little... Alright, we're already running into issues. We have too many voices. Turn down the master volume. Let's also turn up the envelope, or let's turn up the attack. The release as well. See, I told you envelope 4 controls the volume. Just adjusting the... I guess I could play the clip, right? That's already sounding kind of cool, right? Let's mess with some filters. I'm going to turn the amplitude of all these as well. Also, let's choose different waveforms for each. This one. No thanks. Yeah, these are all weird ones. Some of these waveforms are meant more for bass notes. Let's adjust this one. Actually, that sounds kind of cool. Let's use an LFO. Oh, come on, drag over there. couldn't even hear anything. Try tuning this one down an octave. Nope. That's a bad idea. Use a filter? Yeah, perhaps. With an envelope. Maybe control the bandwidth with an LFO. Oh, that's cool. Let's lessen this intensity change. Alright, let's play with the piano. Awesome. Okay, then how can we change these sounds? This one, perhaps we can change the filter cutoff with a macro. So we've got our macros down here in the bottom right. I'm going to put that on the filter cutoff because that usually makes a drastic change, right? So if I go here to my device, I can now control let's make it start down here, so maybe all the way to the left, or out, like that. Also have it lower the bandwidth a bit. We can use another filter because right now it's in serial mode, so right now any sound that's coming out of filter 1 will go directly into filter 2. So let's mess with this some. Let's bring the first filter out. That's kind of cool. Okay, so here's where we're going to use this little feature down here at the bottom. You'll see these lines and then SC. I don't remember exactly what SC is. I think sidechain. I think it stands for sidechain. But basically, what it does is it allows you to assign any parameter to this third box here, and then as long as SC is selected, and then one of these is set to an up or down arrow, it will basically change the range of modulation with that control. So now macro 2 controls the range of the LFO 6 on this daft filter. So right now it should be 0. There should be no change. Yeah. You see, if we turn off filter 1, no change until this one. I like that the best. Yeah. And let's do this as the cutoff of the daft filter as well. So I could put macro 1 here, turn that up. I'm also going to make this turn down the resonance on 1. Then we can apply that if we like. These are just different LFO shapes. Maybe a little bit slower. That one's good. Make it so that I can filter this out. Is there a filter built in already? No. Okay, I'll add one afterwards. Alright. Audio effects, auto filter, you know where this is. So this is how it would start out, right? Let's go over here and turn down. So, what else can go here? Well, you're just gonna have to wait till next time to find out, because it's coming around to one. Actually, I mean, you have 5 more minutes. We technically have 5 more minutes, but I think I will go ahead and leave that for next time. We got a nice little start here. We got a basic house beat. We've still got lots of room to add some more interesting extra house related drum sounds and all of that. We need transitions, we need melody, we need bass. We need bass. That's going to be a huge one. And that's going to be one of the defining qualities of at least any track I produce. I like to make the bass the most prominent and the main feature. I like to feature the bass. So next time we'll get started on that. We'll get started on the bass. We'll get started on the melody. We'll mess with some things. We might not even have a melody. You know, the melody might be very minimal. That is. That's not exactly the focus. The focus is, of course, more the bass and leading up to that. And we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is all subject to change because it's a blank slate, like empty tracks, just a template. Like this is all just a template. All these blue tracks that I did create them, but I made it so that every time there's a new set, I start with a bunch of tracks. Normally, you would start with just 2 MIDI and 2 audio tracks. But in this case, I've set it up so that I start with a bunch of audio and MIDI tracks, and then on them I have some things preloaded. For example, the contact. That's how I was able to pull that up instantly. And I also have Massive X loaded up in the Harmony because it's got some good pad sounds and melody sounds and all that jazz. But yeah, I have real life things to attend to. And I am also losing steam. So, on that note, on that very last note, we are going to be coming back Monday. This is wrong. Once again, I never. Come back Monday. I'll show you some progress made on the trap beat because I'm going to be working on that over the weekend, as you know. And then this house beat, I'm just going to save for the stream because I want this whole process to be shown on stream as per usual. So I hope you got something enjoyable out of that. To the ones who showed today, to the ones who watch afterwards, hope you learned something useful. Hope you get inspired and hope you start to make your own tracks and do your own things. By the way, for BVMP kids, BVMP students, we've got some exciting stuff in the works. We're going to have more than just me participating. That's right. We're going to have Kate putting in their own videos and own live streams on their own. I don't know about the live streams, but they're definitely putting out videos, and I'm going to be doing some collaborations with them starting soon. Starting next week, I believe. We're going to be doing some collaborations, and it's going to be more exciting. We're going to be doing some more music theory-related things, and maybe not, perhaps not that, but it's all up in the air. We're kind of deciding as we go because that's how it's how we're all just playing it by ear, you know. Most of us are, and you can't really make a plan because life throws things at you all the time, and yeah. But anyways, I'll stop rambling, and I'll see.